Hey everyone, welcome to the Anxiety Project YouTube channel. In this video, I am talking about the reasons to overcome anxiety. The anxiety recovery journey is not a straight road. It's a windy road with a lot of ups and downs. You're going to be met with challenges that you've never thought you would experience in your life. But the reward of going through that journey is absolutely huge. It's like climbing Mount Everest and getting to the top. And you're saying to yourself, I can't believe how far I've come. I can't believe how tougher I am. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, you're going to change. I changed when I went through anxiety recovery. Once I changed my internal world, my external world changed. But it all starts from within you. Anxiety sufferers get caught up in a cycle of worry. They ruminate over their sensations. They misinterpret them. And so they get into a habit of always entertaining negative thoughts. And so when an anxiety sufferer gets into that cycle, they get into a permanent state of being sensitized all the time, 24/7. So you've practiced anxiety for a long time. The more you practice anxiety, the more it becomes habitual, the more it just stays around. I practiced anxiety since I was a kid. I mean, I was 10 years old when I had my first panic attack. I remember being in grade 6 or 7 and phoning up my parents because I felt a lump under my jaw and I was afraid of it being cancerous. So imagine that, a kid in grade 7 being worried about something cancerous, right? That's, I should be playing with my toys, and I was, but I mean, it's just hard to think about that. I mean, like a little kid worried about something being cancerous. And so in my 20s, I then practiced anxiety too much. I mean, I was entertaining negative thoughts daily, getting into bad routines and habits. And so my anxiety spiraled out of control in my 20s. But being in that state of anxiety gets way too familiar to you, right? So once you're in that state, it's going to be hard to step out into anxiety recovery. You're going to be met with resistance. You're going to be met with challenges and uncertainty. You're going to be met with chaos. You're going to be met with the dragon in the cave that you don't want to confront, but now that you're in recovery, you have to confront. So anxiety recovery is going to bring out a new you, a stronger you. You have to confront the things that you don't want to in order to become that ideal you, to become that you that you've always wanted to be, one that doesn't suffer from anxiety. So people with anxiety, they are afraid of losing that identity, right? That identity of being a victim even, right? For example, a smoker has a hard time quitting because he fits into the group of friends that smoke, right? They go out on their lunch break, they smoke and they talk and they laugh. So if you're going to quit smoking, it's going to be hard for you to join them in that laughter. So people are afraid of losing that identity. Maybe you're holding on to people around you for reassurance seeking. So you're afraid of, if I recover from anxiety, I'm going to lose that connection with these people in my life. So that's why people have a hard time to recover. They're afraid of losing that connection and being alone, being isolated. But it's simply not the case. When you do recover, you actually find other people that are better for you. But you may recover yourself, and then you may the recovery journey may spread to your friends, and then that group of smokers stop smoking because you did, right? So you've gotten outside of the box. You want to recover. You go through the journey, and then the people around you start to change. So it's for a good thing that you do recover, no matter what. That's the answer. Yes, recover, because you will recover. And if the people around you convince you, say, to smoke a cigarette, for example, and you say no, and they're trying to convince you, well, they may not be good friends for you. So you'll find out through anxiety recovery who your friends really are. Maybe you're hanging around friends who promote negative self-talk, who have anxiety and complain about the world. So when you recover from anxiety and they try and pull you back under, they may not be a good friend for you. All right? So the first thing and the first reason to recover would be do it for yourself. Recover for you, right? Recover for you. In a year's time, if I don't recover from anxiety, how will I feel? What will my life be like in a year if I just stay in this anxious state? Well, my health will be poor. I mean, if you're suffering from anxiety for another 2 years, then you're going to be sensitized all the time. Your sympathetic nervous system, which is your stress response, will be active all the time, and that will cause bodily harm to you. That's toxic to your own body, right? Over a long period of time. So you want to recover because you want better health. You don't want your stress response active all the time for another year. That's going to cause health problems. And so you got to have an aim. You want to know where you're aiming at, right? You got to have an outcome in mind. So ask yourself, what will my life be like once I do recover from anxiety? Now we are attaching pleasure to changing. Well, my health will be better. I'm going to have better health. My immune health will be better if I'm more neutral in my emotions, right? You're going to be more neutral because you don't want to be overly excited all the time. You don't want to be overly anxious and depressed all the time. That's going to emotionally drain you. But if you're neutral in your emotions, then you're going to feel more grounded often. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to have a guard up in your mind rejecting negative beliefs and things in your life that come towards you, right? So you want to have that guard. You want to be neutral. You want to be consciously aware of what's going on around you. That's a good reason to change. Another good reason to change would be you want to feel more calm, and you want to feel healthy, right? You want to feel like you can tackle any challenge. And once you go through anxiety recovery, you're going to have a toolbox of techniques that you can implement whenever chaos presents itself. So now that you've gone through anxiety recovery, you can handle all the chaos that comes your way, right? You know how to handle it. You know how to implement meditation exercises and deep breathing exercises, and you know exactly what to do when chaos presents itself. That's a great reason to change. And also, you're going to be more assertive. You're not going to be pushed around easily once you overcome anxiety. I got pushed around a lot when I was sensitized. My old self, I got pushed around all the time. I was too agreeable, right? I didn't have any morals that I stood upon. I didn't have any proper values that I really respected. Once you go through anxiety recovery, you're going to have great morals. You're going to have a solid foundation so that when people try and take advantage of you, you're not going to let them. You're not going to let them. Or you're going to be more confident in your appearance that people know right away not to mess with you, not to push you around. Because you can tell, right? You can tell who you can and cannot push around, right? You cannot take advantage of. So you're going to be more assertive. You're going to be more grounded, and you're going to say no and not be so agreeable once you go through the anxiety recovery process. That's what you want, don't you? Yeah, of course. The second reason to overcome anxiety is do it for your family. Do it for your family. And if you don't have a wife or husband, do it for your boyfriend or girlfriend. Do it for someone that you love. Do it for your kids, right? Once you change your internal world, your external world changes. So in a year's time, what will my relationships be like if I don't recover from anxiety? Well, I could get a divorce. I could, potentially break up with my boyfriend or girlfriend. I can be more isolated from my family, because if you're so dependent on these people when suffering from anxiety, they're not going to look at you in such a respectable manner. They're going to view you as a victim all the time, right? And you don't want to be so attached to them. You don't want to be dependent upon them, because once you change, that weight of anxiety that you're suffering from lifts off of them, right? You're not putting your baggage onto other people, the ones you really love, because you don't want to do that. You don't want to put the baggage of anxiety and your troubles and traumas onto other people. That's just going to weigh them down. It's going to hinder your relationships with them. So once you recover from anxiety, how will your relationships be in a year's time from now? How will it be? Well, I'll be more independent. That's a good reason. You'll be more independent. You will have tools and techniques and the skills to help them if they have a life challenge. You'll be stronger, and they will find you more attractive because you're more assertive, you're more grounded and neutral, and and have all of these techniques to give them so that they can rely on you, who has recovered from anxiety. They can come to you, and you'll feel good about yourself because you're helping other people now, and they'll feel good that you can help them, your family. And so even your kids will absorb the new energy radiating from you. You can help your kids if they have a life challenge, because you know exactly what to do. You know what's going on in the body. You know what to do when you feel anxious and when chaos strikes. So now you can help everybody in your external world, right? So in summary, it's all about attaching pain to not changing and attaching pleasure to changing. And if those aren't great reasons why to recover from anxiety, I don't know what is. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, because you'll become notified whenever I bring out a new video. And so you'll learn all about anxiety recovery from this channel. Thank you so much. Remember, do not let anxiety define who you are. I will see you on the next video. Bye.